Good evening. First tonight, more snow, more accidents and more to come.
The worst of the cold weather was in the east of the region, with snow showers throughout the day. In Norfolk, 26 schools were closed, either completely or partially. There were a few more in Suffolk and Cambridgeshire. There was a big increase too in the number of road accidents. Again, it was worst in Norfolk, with 47 crashes between midnight and lunchtime. There were 33 in Cambridgeshire and 26 in Suffolk. Tonight we're out with the Gritters. A police traffic inspector will tell us how we're doing on the roads. And of course Alex is here with the weather forecast. But first, here's how it looked in your part of the region.
Temperatures went down to -5 last night and 5 centimetres of snow fell in some places. A sign warned of ice, which was accurate if nothing else. There were accidents on the A11 and the A47, and it was a slow journey to work for many. A bus with 26 students from Old Buckenham High School on board went off the road. There were no injuries. Fire engines which came to help got stuck.
I did have a word with the driver who didn't want to go on camera, but he said there was nothing he could do. A car skidded in front of him and he'd got nowhere to go.
Obviously, it's a concern if there's that kind of a road incident, but nobody was hurt. Students were picked up by another bus and brought into school just a little bit later than usual.
26 schools across Norfolk closed for the day, including the Hewitt School in Norwich.
Well, it's not a decision we take lightly. Consultation and communication began between the leadership team at 6 o'clock this morning, checking out what the weather was like in different regions, because our staff live all over the county.
Wyndham High closed at lunchtime. Students and staff are being told to keep a close eye on the weather.
Plan is to check each day, and we've told all the students to check the website every morning. If it's possible, we'll try and open every single day.
In Essex, there was little snow and few problems. It did snow overnight, but it didn't settle, and by late afternoon, the A12 was running as well as it ever does. In Suffolk, it was a similar story. It was cold and icy, but there was relatively little disruption. Of course, if you're small, then you just want to go faster in the snow, not slower. And if you're a husky, then this sort of weather is paradise. The best way to stay in touch during the cold snap is by tuning into your BBC local radio station. Mike Liggins, BBC Look East.
And of course, keeping the traffic moving comes down to good gritting. Well, this afternoon we sent Felicity Simper out with the guys at the sharp end.
3 p.m. and the gritting team in Ipswich are preparing for a cold evening. One by one, the fleet of trucks fills up. After studying the weather forecast, the decision to send them out was made at lunchtime.
It's anticipated that late afternoon we'll have some snowfall, uncertain as to the extent, but we're sending the gritters out now at 3 o'clock to cover the roads in the afternoon. Early evening, we'll have to just watch what's going on and then send the gritters out again at about 7 o'clock if the snowfall occurs. And again, in the morning at 0300 hours, we'll be out with the gritters, gritting again.
This salt comes from deep beneath the sea in Cleveland. It's travelled all the way down the coast by ship and arrives here at the docks in Ipswich. Some councils mix their salt with molasses, but this is just pure sodium chloride. Steve Crapnell is assigned to a route covering about 60 miles. His truck holds 8 tonnes of salt and he'll be driving for 2.5 hours.
I always liken it to being on a boat, really. Everything has to be done very slowly, very deliberately. We're putting about down 20 grams per square metre. It's a good indicator, actually, when you're driving past other cars. If you hear the salt coming out and hitting the other cars, you know it's coming out OK.
There's 18,000 tonnes of salt in stock in Suffolk, and the bookies reckon there's a 6-to-1 chance of a white Christmas in the east. With another 2 weeks of cold weather predicted, they could soon be ordering more. Felicity Simper, BBC Look East, Ipswich.
So it's the same old story. A few inches of snow, everybody gets slower and slower, and then it grinds to a halt. And often it's the police who have to pick up the pieces. Inspector Darren Elliott is from Norfolk Police. How are we doing this evening?
Yes, we're doing a lot better this evening, thank you. We've seen a little bit of a thaw this afternoon and it's a lot less chaotic than it was this morning.
But you're bracing yourselves for another busy night, are you?
Yes, a busy night and a busy morning tomorrow. With the expected snow and ice we're going to have overnight, it could cause problems in the morning, and we are getting ready for that with our emergency service colleagues.
You've put out a warning about people filming accidents. What's that about?
Yeah, unbelievably, we've had reports from officers at the scenes of collisions whereby drivers are going past the scene with their mobile phones, filming it with their hands off the steering wheel and looking at the scene of the collision, inches from emergency service people, paramedics and fire service, trying to help those in distress. And it's just madness. It's putting the lives of all those people at risk.
And if you see anybody doing that, presumably they're in trouble.
Yes, absolutely, they will be. My officers will be dealing robustly with anybody they see filming the scene of an accident while they're driving, and they will be prosecuted.
We have all these problems with just really what is a small amount of snow. Are we good enough drivers?
I think we are good enough drivers. The conditions we've seen today are quite severe, and it can catch out even the best of drivers. And unless you've got snow chains or a 4x4, you could get caught out at any time. So I would urge any driver just to be careful and plan ahead.
And 3 top tips?
3 top tips would be think about the journey and allow a little bit of extra time, and take something warm and a flask if you can. It might seem a little bit silly on the face of it, but you don't know when you're going to be held up or how long you're going to be held up for. And take a mobile phone with plenty of charge in case you need to call anybody.
Inspector Elliott, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, later on we'll have